We live in a world today where people don't really necessarily know how to think for themselves. A lot of people are so consumed by what's going on in social media, what's going on in the news, what their family or their friends might be telling them. But a lot of people truly haven't taken that time to sit with self, to sit with God and really connect with their true divine essence and presence, to where they're able to think freely without allowing outside voices, the outside noise to dictate and control their way of living. I think we live in a society where it's very popcorn and microwaved, where a lot of people just truly don't know how to, one, do research and actually educate themselves on what's going on. And a lot of people don't really even take the time to question the things that they think are true or what they believe to be true. And I think sometimes that's the problem in our society today. And I got a special guest here on the channel, y'all. I got my brother Daraja with us today, very enlightened individual, what I mean, has a lot of depth, a lot of wealth of knowledge. And, I felt like today would be a great opportunity to bring somebody else onto the channel so you guys can get another perspective, some different wisdom as well. We were college roommates. This is one of my best friends, my brothers. We go very, very back. We go a long way back, man. And, he's taught me a lot of things as well. And I'm just grateful for our relationship and, the things that we've been able to teach each other just about life and kind of navigating the world, because we realize that everything is spiritual. And if you haven't really tapped in to that spirit realm to understand how to navigate in this physical realm, I don't really know too much what to tell you.
Nah, man, I appreciate that, man. This guy right here, vice versa, man. This is my brother. Brought me out here to Atlanta to experience a different way of living, and I'm so grateful for him and what he's taught me. And it'd be funny because we be going through like the same things in life. It might be a different type of variable, but it's like the same type of teachings. And we've been on our journey and everything, and just growing, evolving spiritually and as young men in this world is a fascinating thing to do. And a lot of times, we get captivated. We have very in-depth conversations, but I like just pointing out how it is very easy to get caught up in society, because it's like it's built for you to be distracted and not really tap into who you are as self. So if you look around and where we at right now, we at the top of Stone Mountain. This is my first time here. He brought me here, dragged me out the house. So, I'm grateful for that. But without that type of motivation to get out and get up out my comfort zone, it would have been hard, because I'm feeling great right now. I'm feeling tapped in with God, with Source, with the universe and everything. But if you don't have that type of push or that type of drive, it will be easier for you to stay in that box. And so, you got to be able to just kind of just break free from the programming, from what we were taught. We grew up in school, and they taught us from, even school, 8 to 3. Kindergarten, 8 to 3. The authority is the person with the teacher and then the principal. And so you're learning all these cognitive thoughts. And so you're learning from a young age that it's kind of illegal and unnatural to think for yourself. And so as you navigate through life, it is okay to question different things and to be outside of the program. At times, it may feel uncomfortable for some, because, we, at the end of the day, we are people. We want to be together, and we want to be able to have similar thoughts and similar interests. But just think about it like this. What type of world is a place where we don't grow from one another? We don't agree on the same things all the time, but it's like, just because we don't agree, this is why I love this guy, is because we can have an in-depth conversation and be like, he's over there, I'm over here, but I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. We're going to meet halfway. And I feel like that's very essential for growth and development with different people, is just understanding it's okay, to have different perspectives, but knowing that, look, I may not be right 100% of the time. He might not be right 100% of the time, but let's strengthen each other and let's, figure out ourselves. Because at the end of the day, me personally, and I think that we're supposed to be here to spiritually grow and evolve ourselves, not just physically, not just mentally, but the spirit. So whatever your spirit is calling you to do, please listen to that voice, listen to that gut feeling. Don't go outside, and ask a lot of times if you ask for help, you're going to be you're going to get fear projected on you from different individuals. So it's important to just lock into what you know and feel that you're supposed to do. And it's crazy because even me, I don't be listening a lot. So it's a journey and it's a battle, but just make sure it's you stay in your pocket and you stay to what's true to you and what you love.
Yeah, no, that's powerful, bro. And even like you said, even though sometimes we don't always agree on the certain things, we don't disrespect each other's viewpoints. We don't do any of that. And I think it's so important because iron sharpens iron. And I think it's important for you all to examine everything, examine the things in your life and examine the things that people tell you, examine the wisdom that you might receive. And I want to ask you, bro, like, why do you feel like it's so important to have people around you that can challenge your beliefs, your way of thinking, challenge you to grow and get outside of your comfort zone?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just so you don't stay stagnant, and just so you able to evolve. If you keep on thinking the same thing over and over again, there's no growth. And me personally, I feel that people are here to grow and to spiritually develop. So if you're constantly thinking the same thing and you constantly in the same cycle, you're in insanity. You will be, you got a lot of people that have grown physically, and I got a lot of respect for my elders, but it's a lot that I done met that it might be, maybe 60, 50 years of age, but mentally still in their 20s. And it's vice versa. It could be somebody younger, 5, 6, 7 years old, ancient souls. So it's very important to not really look at the messenger, but just be important with analyzing the message, because God's source can come through anybody at any given time. So a lot of times people might block their blessings just because this message might come from somebody homeless, just because this message might come from somebody younger than you, and you're expecting it to be a person with credentials, a person with a suit, a person that's older, but that might not be it. So it's important to just free yourself from the bondage of what society has put around your mind in order for you to think how you're supposed to think, and because if you think what society wants you to think, you're going to be limited and you're not going to be able to expand and just essentially evolve and essentially grow. So it's really up to the individual, if you ask me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's all a case by case. It's an individual by individual thing. And as we talk about it all the time, like, listen, you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink at the end of the day. We can give people so much knowledge. Our job is just to plant the seed. What you do with that seed is up to you. Like I mentioned, you got to examine everything and figure out what truth actually is for yourself. And a lot of people aren't actually going to take the time to seek that truth, seek their higher self, seek God through them actually seeking, because that's all what it is that you're doing. As you continue to go on your path and as you continue to go on your journey and kind of just develop spiritually, you're getting closer to self, which is actually you getting closer to God. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand. A lot of people think that you have to go outside of yourself to be able to experience God. And don't get me wrong, those are just tools to help you strengthen that. But the easiest way to connect with God is what we're doing out here right now. You can tell that we know God is real by just looking outside right now. We're out here in nature, taking some time to sit with ourselves, to meditate out here, to just breathe. That is spirit. That's our breath. That's spirit. We're tapping into the spiritual realm, and you guys have to do it. I think I want to challenge you all to try to remain in the spirit at all times, because with so much going on in the world, so much going in life, pulling you in so many different directions, the pressure of just working, bills, your everyday responsibilities, it's going to strip you away from who you are at your core. And it removes that God essence. It removes that childlike essence from you. And that's what these systems are put in place to do. So you have to make it a priority to take that time to sit still, to get outside, to connect with who it is that you actually are at your core. And bro, I want to ask you a little bit, like, when did you really start your journey of just seeking truth and really just being on this path and understanding that everything is truly spiritual?
I will say, I've always, just from my background and my family, we really connected and tapped into that realm. But me intentionally would have to be after football stopped. If y'all don't know, me and this dude, we used to be on the gridiron trying to do our thing, but our life had different paths and different ways it was supposed to go. So once that ended, I think I was around 20. That's when I started just having a different perspective, because I was so locked in with football and just tunnel vision that I never really got a chance to really just see what Daraja liked and who is Daraja, and just really be grounded in a sense of who I am. So once that stopped, I kind of just started like just maneuvering through life and seeing, what do I like to do besides this sport that I've been glued and addicted to. And then shortly after that, one of my best friends from high school passed away, and then that was really just like the turning point. I started questioning everything, because I'm around solid individuals like this guy right here that you see, my man Makai. And so when my bro left, it was just kind of like, I'm like, man, hold on. I don't think I've seen him kill a fly for real, like in real life. So I'm like, why would this type of person, so young, one of the first people I think the first of his family to graduate college, out the Bay Area, my boy Brandon. I'm like, how? Why, God? Why would this individual be taken away? And there's so much evil going around throughout the world. And I know it's probably a lot of y'all that's gone through this type of experience. He's gone through this type of experience of just that loss. And so, when you go through that physically, it challenges something in you to really, I don't know, something just clicked. And I just started going on this crazy search and thirst for answers, honestly. I tried looking for it through alcohol. I really knew that wasn't gonna work, because I'm like, bro, I don't like the taste. I don't mind getting drunk. I ain't perfect, but I don't like the taste of alcohol. So I'm like, I know that's not gonna work. Tried it through drugs, weed, and everything, and that didn't help. I just ended up feeling numb. And so, I started coming across different videos and different people teaching me about, like, just meditation and grounding and things of that nature. And so I would have to say that was the only thing that could kind of just get me centered to a place of peace. And once I started meditating, man, it just really just took off. I think I was around like 22, 23. It just took off, man. I started grounding, going through nature. And even within that journey, I was kind of, that was my first time really just trying to like elevate spiritually outside of religion, like just really just on my own, because I feel like that's even a different path. And I'm not knocking any type of path, but I feel like that's a different path when you go just like straight, just by yourself, and just like, figuring out what I need to do. And what I love about meditation is that you can't run from your problems. You can't run from anything that you've been hiding from, because that's what the system is designed to do. You gotta understand, we work from 9 to 5. You get home, it's about 7. You gotta cook, you gotta clean. By the time you're done with all that, you might got 20, 30 minutes to yourself, because you gotta wake up in the morning and go back to work. You got a weekend, it's like 1 or 2 days. And that time, you trying to be with your people, be with your friends, escape the rat race. And so there really is no time for self. So throughout this whole process, there is no time for development. There is no time for finding who you are. There is no time for strengthening what's wrong with you, essentially building and healing that inner child. And so that's what I fell in love with meditation, because it was really just me versus me. I'm literally hearing all the thoughts that I try to run from. I'm hearing and feeling all these emotions. And instead of running from it, I'm actually sitting in it. And I'm understanding that, wait, okay, this feeling is not that bad. And then once you really get deep into it, you like, wait, hold on. It's only because of this. Then you start getting back to that inner child and that kid that never got a hug, or that never was able to fix that problem. And you're able to just be like, you know what? It's okay. I know it's not perfect, but it's okay. That might have happened back then, but we're here right now in the present. And that's what I love about meditation. It keeps you in the present. It keeps you still. It keeps you one with God. And, it keeps you grounded. And so that was really like a turning point for me. And then from there, just grounding and trying to surround myself with positive energy, man. And that's what kind of just started my journey of just spirituality and finding myself. And what I will say is that it's not just this straight uphill journey. It's like this, because when I first got up on it, I was on some oh yeah, I can't be around this. I can't listen to this. Oh no, I'm not about to eat this. Yeah, you feel me? Like just really on some monk shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to discourage anybody that's starting off with their journey to feel like you have to be a perfect being, because that's not what it's about. It's about inner healing and finding yourself and being able to maneuver with that pain and with those emotions, and understand that you are not those emotions. They're gonna come every day. It's up to you whether you want to lash out and let them control you. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, we're fighting the flesh, we fighting the body, but you're not the body. You're the soul, the spirit inside of the body. And so when you meditate, you get closer and you understand that I am that soul and that spirit. I am that I am. And so, I am that I am. And so I got to a point where I was just like, hey, all right, man, like I want to help other people, because that honestly helped me find peace. And I'm like, man, I want to help other people, but I'm not going to be able to reach out to nobody if I'm just all day and every day. Like, I got to be relatable. So, it's okay to, get back. Not saying to go back to your ways, but being able to maneuver in those certain spaces within those certain people and not fall victim to the certain traps that the world, that different forces might have, because you're coming from a different perspective, from a different stance, and being able to navigate through those spaces, So I'm not on some, oh yeah, I can't listen to this all the time. I don't want to be there all the time. It's just like, it's just having balance and being like, even if I'm there, or even if I do hear this, I understand what's going on. I understand what it is trying to do to my body, but at the end of the day, I'm still in control.
You're observing it.
I'm observing. You feel me? So that's what I would say meditation helps with the most, is just being in control of this flesh body vehicle. I like to say we in cars, So, when I personally, if you're not meditating or praying, whatever helps you, you pretty much a passenger in this body, and you're gonna be just recklessly driving on these roads. So I would highly advise, just try to get right with self so you could be in control of this vehicle, and yeah.
That was deep. He just dropped a lot of gems, y'all. I hope that y'all are present enough to receive what was talked about today. And man, if this resonated with you, I ask that you just like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend.